Look closely at Catherine Zeta-Jones's neck during her red carpet appearances. See that faint line barely visible beneath decades of glamorous styling? That 1.5-inch scar holds the secret to everything that followed. It's not from a movie stunt or Hollywood accident. It's from the day doctors were forced to slice open her throat when she was just an infant, gasping for air as a viral infection tried to claim her before she could even speak her first word. That scar was large and difficult to hide, causing her to suffer bullying throughout her childhood. But it represents her first victory over death itself. What you're about to discover isn't just another celebrity story. It's the raw truth about a woman who clawed her way from Welsh working-class roots to Oscar gold, only to face demons that nearly destroyed everything she built. Catherine was born September 25, 1969, in Swansea, Wales, the daughter of Patricia and David James Jones, who owned a sweet factory. Life seemed simple until that terrifying infection struck. As an infant, Catherine suffered from a viral infection that caused severe breathing difficulties. Doctors had no choice but to perform an emergency tracheotomy, making an incision on her neck to open a direct airway to her lungs. The procedure saved her life, but left her with something most people never develop so young: an understanding that existence can vanish in a heartbeat. The scar marked her. It was large, impossible to hide completely, and became a target for childhood bullies. While other kids worried about scraped knees, Catherine learned to navigate a world that stared at her neck, whispered behind her back, and made her feel different from day one. But perhaps that early trauma forged something unbreakable inside her. She moved through childhood with urgent purpose, as if making up for borrowed time. Then fate dealt an unexpected hand. Although her father owned a sweet factory, the family had limited income until they won £100,000 in a bingo competition. For working-class Welsh family, it was life-changing money. Catherine's parents saw something burning in their daughter's eyes beyond the scar that marked her. They used the windfall to send her to private school and pay for dance and ballet lessons. By age 4, Catherine was performing in local productions. She quickly progressed to West End roles in Annie and Bugsy Malone as a child. By her teens, Catherine faced choices that would terrify most adults. When offered starring roles requiring leaving school, she chose the stage. It wasn't recklessness, but survival instinct. That early brush with mortality taught her some chances don't come twice. While other teens stressed about exams, Catherine was learning to survive in rooms full of adults and critics who saw her as either commodity or competition. Hollywood's first lesson was devastating. Her early film attempts crashed spectacularly. To American casting directors, she was just another pretty face with an accent, someone they couldn't quite place in their system. She took whatever roles she could find, each project promising breakthrough but delivering rejection. The industry has a way of making talented people feel invisible, and Catherine felt that weight pressing down every morning she woke up in Los Angeles. Years of near misses followed. Close calls, almosts, maybes. She watched lesser talents soar while she remained grounded, clinging to faith that was becoming harder to defend. The rejections cut deep because she'd already overcome so much just to get in the room. When Steven Spielberg noticed her work, everything shifted. In 1998, she found herself auditioning for The Mask of Zorro, competing against established names like Penelope Cruz and Salma Hayek. Catherine wasn't the obvious choice, but she refused to let that stop her. What followed was months of brutal preparation, sword fighting until her hands bled, horseback riding until her body screamed. She refused stunt doubles, insisting on performing every dangerous sequence herself. "I wanted to earn it," she later said. "Not just look beautiful in costume, but hold my own against Antonio Banderas." The result? was electric. Her Elena Montero wasn't just gorgeous, she was fierce, complex, unforgettable. The film grossed over $250 million worldwide, and overnight, Catherine became Hollywood's newest obsession. Her next role in Entrapment with Sean Connery created cinema's most iconic laser maze sequence. Then came Traffic, where she shed glamour completely to play a drug lord's conflicted wife. But nothing prepared the world for 2002's Chicago. Pregnant with daughter Karis, Catherine danced and sang through Velma Kelly with ferocity that left audiences breathless. When she accepted her Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress just days before giving birth, she embodied pure strength. The love story began with Hollywood's most audacious pickup line. At the 1998 Deauville Film Festival, Michael Douglas approached Catherine with shocking confidence. "You're going to be the mother of my children," he announced. Catherine was mortified. Here was a man 25 years her senior making presumptions about her future. She smiled politely and walked away, certain she'd never see him again. But Michael hadn't survived decades in Hollywood by accepting defeat. Within days, roses arrived on her Scottish film set with a handwritten apology. What started as brief phone conversations stretched into hours-long discussions about life, dreams, and shared fears. For 9 months, they talked across time zones, building something neither expected, genuine connection that transcended age gaps and industry cynicism. On New Year's Eve 1999, both sick with flu, Michael proposed with a vintage 10-carat diamond. Despite the sneezing, Catherine said yes without hesitation. Their November 2000 Plaza Hotel wedding was Hollywood royalty at its finest. But even that fairy tale moment was tainted when paparazzi infiltrated despite exclusive rights being sold. For Catherine, her dream wedding had been commoditized. Motherhood brought unexpected refuge. After Karis was born in 2003, they retreated to Bermuda, raising children away from paparazzi flashbulbs. But even in paradise, invisible shadows were gathering. Behind the perfect facade, Catherine battled demons no red carpet could reveal. After Karis's birth, she experienced crushing mood swings, severe depression alternating with manic energy. For years, she suffered silently, terrified of mental health stigma in an industry that demands perfection. The diagnosis was both relief and terror: bipolar II disorder. She told no one initially, carrying the secret like stone in her chest. Then life delivered another crushing blow. In 2009, Michael's son Cameron was arrested on federal drug charges, triggering vicious media coverage. Catherine, already struggling, now consoled a devastated husband while shielding her young children from brutal headlines. 2010 brought the diagnosis that shattered everything: Michael's stage 4 throat cancer. Catherine spent countless hours in sterile hospital corridors, watching the man she loved waste away under harsh fluorescent lights. When Michael made comments linking his cancer to HPV, gossip columns exploded with speculation about their marriage and Catherine's fidelity. She felt exposed, betrayed, humiliated, deeper than any professional rejection. By 2011, the accumulated weight became unbearable. Catherine quietly checked herself into a Connecticut mental health facility. When news inevitably leaked, she made a choice that changed everything. Instead of hiding behind publicist statements, she spoke with raw honesty. "This is a disorder that affects millions of people," she told reporters. "I'm not ashamed. Mental health is not something to hide." With those words, she shattered decades of Hollywood stigma, giving voice to countless others suffering in silence. The revelation sparked massive support from fans and fellow celebrities facing similar battles. But it also marked their marriage's darkest period. In 2013, after months of accumulated strain, Catherine and Michael announced separation. Tabloids exploded with speculation. The truth was simpler. Two people who loved each other but had been broken by circumstances beyond their control. For 8 months, they lived apart, both questioning whether their union could survive. The reconciliation happened quietly through daily phone calls and shared memories. In 2014, they appeared together at the Golden Globes. No fanfare, just two people who chose love over fear. Recovery wasn't linear. Catherine continued managing bipolar disorder through therapy, medication, and lifestyle changes. She became a fierce advocate, using her platform to normalize conversations about psychological health. When Michael faced new challenges, including allegations during the Me Too movement, Catherine stood by him while maintaining her own boundaries. Today, at 55, Catherine has found what eluded her for decades: authentic peace. She splits time between their $33 million Mallorca estate and Manhattan apartment. The Spanish villa is sanctuary surrounded by olive trees where she feels closest to herself. Her recent return as Morticia Addams in Netflix's Wednesday proved she can still command screens with ethereal elegance. Her advocacy work continues, offering hope to others fighting invisible battles. The marriage that survived scandals has evolved into partnership built on understanding that love isn't about perfection, but persistence. She adheres to wellness routines prioritizing mental health, yoga, meditation, careful attention to mood episode warning signs. It's not about chasing youth, she explains, but honoring survival. The 1.5-inch scar on her neck remains visible, a reminder that her very first breath was a fight. That early encounter with mortality shaped everything: the urgency to pursue dreams, courage to risk everything, strength to endure public humiliation and private pain. She's quietly created scholarship programs for young Welsh actors, mentoring from afar without seeking credit. From that bingo win in Swansea to the Academy podium, Catherine proved talent without tenacity means nothing. She was never just a beautiful face. She was the infant who fought for breath, the scarred child who faced bullies, the teenager who gambled everything on dreams, the woman who broke down privately but stood up publicly. Her legacy isn't measured in box office receipts, but in conversations she started about mental health, stigmas she shattered, and hope she offered anyone fighting battles others cannot see. Today, she carries invisible wounds with visible grace. There are still difficult mornings when bipolar depression makes getting out of bed feel impossible. But she rises anyway. Not because she's fearless, but because she's learned courage isn't fear's absence. It's action despite it. That scar on her neck isn't just medical history anymore. It's become a symbol for everyone who has fought for breath, dreams, love, life itself. Catherine didn't just survive her battles, she transformed them into strength that lights the way for others still fighting in darkness. Perhaps that's her greatest role, not a character on screen, but a beacon of hope for anyone needing permission to keep going. If Catherine's incredible journey moved you, smash that like button to honor not just the star, but the warrior behind the spotlight. Subscribe for more untold stories of Hollywood legends who fought battles cameras never captured. Drop a comment telling us which part hit you hardest: her childhood scar and bullying, her mental health courage, or her refusal to give up. Your story matters too.